You know when you're really looking forward to doing something on a particular day? You might be going to see a movie, going on a first time dinner date if you've got the Riz, or watching that well anticipated anime that recently came out. That buzz can be euphoric. Unless you're like me and you just want to keep your mind mellow to avoid unintentionally gaslighting yourself, then I feel your pain. Because sometimes things don't always go to plan. Maybe it's because all the potential problems didn't get factored in beforehand. Everything bad that could have happened, and it was just your unlucky day. Or somewhere in that middle ground. But oh dear, Bug Films. They really slipped on a couple banana peels last summer. It is also really funny that a studio that animated a story about the main character being an overworked employee at a production company at the start gets hit with productional issues of their own. Or maybe it's fitting considering on the other side of issues in the anime industry, there's been a lot of leaks coming from animators at another studio about their experiences of exhaustion while working on a seriously tight schedule for the second season of a certain battle shonen anime. I don't know. But anyways, on 100's final 3 episodes of the season rescheduled to air on Christmas Day, and I'm here to talk about whether or not it recovered and finished in style. But before that, please make sure to hit the subscribe button while you're here. Doing so, you'll be up to date with the channel's activities going forward, and I'd really appreciate the support. Now on with the video. I will not be going in depth about anything towards the start of the show because I've already made a video on that. You'll see an info card with the video link for those of you who want to watch it before going any further on this video. Also, as episodes 5 through 9 were yet to air at the time of recording that video, I'll be making references to that middle portion of the season. Thought I'd try and remove any confusion before I get into it. Now let's get down to it. The final arc was still visually appealing. There isn't a significant drop in quality compared to the first 9 episodes. However, episode 11 has a lot of stuff going on. While it wasn't terrible, I feel like there was a missed opportunity to really crank up the creativity in action scenes like they did in other sequences in previous episodes. Though apart from that, they really did a good job. If I was none the wiser about the unplanned hiatus and you told me that the whole show aired fine with no week-long delays, you'd believe you. Obviously, some may feel that this should be a requirement, and yeah, I kinda agree. With the scheduling beginning to fall apart halfway through the season and end up as bad as it did, it could have easily reached to the point of no return. But from what I've seen, they recovered pretty well. The fact that the last 3 episodes was its own arc probably helped as well. I guess that they noticed that they were in some shit early on and made a contingency. If the hiatus came after episode 10, then fans would probably be a lot more annoyed. The dynamic between the main cast is kinda cool. Shizuka coming in to knock Akira out of his days during his run-in with his old boss is a nice little play on her development. Beatrix. A lot of weebs can easily self-insert with her. Foreign student, a Japanophilia. Yeah, that's a word. Literally risking her life to deliver fish so she can experience authentic sushi. Fair enough, as Woody Harrelson's character says in a certain light-hearted zombie apocalypse film, you gotta enjoy the little things. She shares that similar sentiment with Akira, which helps the 4 main characters complement one another. With those 2 being foolhardy through being driven by their goal, you got Kenichiro and Shizuka, both more conservative with their approach against the calamity, but willing to compromise and go along with their crazy journey. Now back onto the last act. I already said it was good. Much like the visual quality in this arc, most of the character interactions are what you want in a good anime, though you can trickle that down to the anime following good source material. I don't want to say that they're gut-wrenching, but most of them are pretty deep for a zombie apocalypse anime. I'd say the 2 most memorable moments were when one of the girls taking refuge at Akira's hometown told Akira how she realised that she was in a calamity, which was while she was on set for a music video shoot about a zombie apocalypse, and the other where Akira's dad tells him about his own childhood dream of being an astronaut. Again, kind of thought-provoking. The show conveying the characters' feelings is done pretty well. The polarising feeling I have towards the show are with the villains, and I'll get to why. In a world like Zom 100's, you can effectively do anything and not worry about the law coming to bite you. Yeah, you can take what you want from the local supermarket without paying. That's great and all, but you'd be cracked if you were to tell me that there aren't evil, spiteful opportunists that will try to be the scourges of the earth. We're talking wannabe serial killers, R-chargers and diddlers. Haro also took the mild route and decided, okay, let's bring in characters that want to incite the zombie apocalypse until they're the last ones. Like, that's fine. It's seinen, but it's still a comedy, even if it's a little crude at times. While the backstory sounds stupid for their motivations, they're not unrealistic circumstances. I do feel like the show was trying too hard to make me feel sorry for them at the end. The 4 lowlifes are decent matchups for each of our main characters. Kanta, the ringleader, like Akira, has a notebook with a bucket list of things to do. But unlike Akira, Kanta's list is full of terrible things. He's probably got in his list something like tackle an old granny and leave her to the zombies, drop a deuce on someone's doorstep, use a wrecking ball crane to destroy a building. Actually, that third one sounds kinda cool. And okay, believable reasoning. Kanta's essentially Akira's polar opposite. Didn't finish uni and ended up being a NEET, but still in the very similar shit-infested room that Akira was in the beginning of the show. And granted, they delivered his backstory pretty well. They've done very well in doing so with the other main characters, so yeah, points for consistency. Though after all is said and done, Ken sums up that ordeal perfectly. At the same time, this is pretty rich coming from a guy where he should technically be on the CS offenders list for his shenanigans. Censoring is pretty funny, if not stupid, not gonna lie, but doesn't take away from the fact that I feel at least a little bit uncomfortable this time around. Overall, Bug films definitely deserve some credit. They will be notoriously known for the irony that they unintentionally created. However, after that serious spanner in the works, they got their work done and did it rather well. You'd get the impression that in spite of everything that Bug films went through, they enjoyed their work and want to keep this show for season 2. I'm intrigued though. Whether that actually happens is another matter. I'd like to think that they scuppered their chance of getting any Anime of the Year awards or even nominations, considering that this all happened towards the middle of the year. But because the ending, despite initial production problems, finished on a high at the end of the year, makes it, for better or worse, harder to ignore. What I will say is I definitely enjoyed it. Admittedly, I was close to putting it off a little longer, but I'm glad that I decided against it. It was more or less the same experience as when it first aired, but this time I get to see a satisfying cap off to a visually creative show about a group of 20-something-year-olds making the most of a zombie apocalypse. I've said just about everything I want to say about this show, so this is where I'll wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Helps the video get seen by others like yourselves. If not, let us know your thoughts on the show or this video in the comment section below. If you're still watching, may 2024 bring you good fortune. See ya!